So guys, we're going to talk about this awesome PC that I had built not too long ago, and we're going to talk about some of the components that we used and kind of the process that went on when building this PC, and some things we ran into. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. But before we get into the meat and potatoes of this video, let's go ahead and hear a word from today's sponsor. Hey guys, do you build, sell, and or flip gaming PCs? Or are you about to build your own personal gaming PC and you want to put Windows on it, but you don't want to drop $200 on a Windows key? Yikes, I don't blame you. So with today's video sponsor, MyKeyShop.com, we have a solution. With MyKeyShop.com, this is an emerging online platform with Windows 10 and 11 home and pro keys, as well as Microsoft Office keys that are legitimate at amazing prices, guys. And you can get an even deeper discount with my discount code RTW55. You simply just find the product that you would like to purchase, add it to your cart, input your payment information, go to checkout. Once you've checked out, you will get a code sent to your email within just a few minutes. You copy and paste this code into the box. Once you've done that, you hit activate and you have a legitimate activated Windows key. And again, guys, the discount code is RTW55. RTW55 to get an already amazing deep discount on top of the amazing prices that MyKeyShop.com has. Thank you again, MyKeyShop.com, for sponsoring today's video. Let's get back to it. What's up, everyone? In this video, we're going to be building a very similar PC to what I built in a sponsored video about probably a month ago or so by now. This is a very similar PC build. It has an Intel i7-8700K, excuse me, and also a Z-Series, I believe it was a Z370 motherboard, along with an RTX graphics card, and again, pretty much very similar specs to what I had built not too long ago. This PC was actually filled with a bunch of surprises. As I was building this PC, I ran into some issues. That being of the overclock that I was trying to achieve with this PC wasn't quite working out like I thought it would. I tried to overclock it, I believe, to like 5.1 or 5.2 gigahertz. Again, an Intel i7-8700K, which I was able to do successfully on the sponsored PC build. However, I think that motherboard had much more beefier VRMs and heat sinks to accommodate that higher overclock, whereas with this I almost like graphics card, excuse me, with this motherboard, definitely could not achieve that. I was able to get a little close to that, but not quite. If I remember correctly, this motherboard I was able to get up to like a 5 gigahertz, maybe 5.1 gigahertz overclock, and it was steady without any crashing. Once I downclocked it just a tiny bit more, but still not bad. Just slightly different, you know, motherboard, and we're capable of different clock speeds, if you will. And as you can see in this video, I did have an RTX card on here, pretty beefy one. This actually happened to be an RTX 2070s you're seeing right here, with that white kind of cover on it, if you will, that MSI card. That's the card I was going to use in this build. However, I was building this originally just as a normal PC build, but then I found out that what I found out was this Gigabyte graphics card that you see in this clip here was actually an RTX 2070 Super, when I originally thought it was an RTX 2070. It's what the listing said, and that's just what I thought I was getting. But lo and behold, this was actually an RTX 2070 Super, and I actually went ahead and used this in this build. I was going to put it up for sale on Marketplace, but I had somebody who was interested in a PC, and I kind of pitched the idea to him, what I had and what I was building, and he liked it. And then I told him that it had an RTX 2070 Super that I was going to plan on using, so I was going to up the price a little just because it's a better graphics card. And he was perfectly okay with paying, I believe I just charged $50 more, which I think is fair in my opinion. But yeah, that's what we ended up using in this build, along with a set of 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM from Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro to be exact. I buy quite a bit of this RAM and use it in a lot of my builds just because it's a cheap alternative to like Team Group and some of the other kits that are honestly starting to get a little expensive. And honestly, profits right now just aren't that great with selling PCs, to be honest. I mean, the market in general, not only just for like PC building, PC gaming, markets in general right now are just kind of suffering. The economy's not doing very well, and that reflects even with PC building and buying PC parts even. Prices are just very low, which as a buyer is good because it gives the buyer more power, but the seller loses a lot of power not only both in trying to sell product, but also getting profit. So typically I would usually buy new RAM. That's what I've done in a lot of builds, but lately I've been buying a lot of used Corsair RAM. I do always test them before I put them in builds, and I like to stress test all my components before selling PCs. But yeah, that's the RAM that I use with some Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro, and of course tied it in with this red theme. Along with that, I used a 1TB NVMe SSD. I believe it was a Keen spec model. I use these quite a bit. And also for the cooler, I used the same cooler that I used in the last build, which was, I believe, a Thermalright 240 AIO. So that's what we used in this build here. You may have also noticed that I did put in a different graphics card in an earlier clip. That was just another RTX card that I had picked up and I hadn't tested yet, so I just went ahead and threw it in this build just to test it. I think that's actually what I was doing originally when I kind of had all those graphics cards. I was testing them, and then when I found out that that RTX 2070 was an RTX 2070 Super, that 3-fan model right there with the Gigabyte logos on them, that's why I decided to use in this build. I just thought I'd throw that in there because I know earlier in the clip I was kind of going through different graphics cards and even RAM. I think I was also testing different sets of RAM as well. And the case that I decided to use in this video was obviously an ATX style case, as I did use an ATX style motherboard. Again, very similar to that last build. This build's very similar to the last build except for the motherboard and obviously the case, graphics card, and that's really it. A lot of the components are pretty similar, but anyways, to get back to the case, this is the Sama New View. I believe it's the 4361. I'll put a correction up here on the screen somewhere if I'm wrong, but I've used this case in the past. A very nice case. It comes in at around $63 most of the time on Newegg, which is not a bad price at all, guys. You're getting 3 ARGB fans. They are the Infinity mirror design, or style if you will. You get 2 reverse blade and 1 normal style fan in the back, and the RGB controller that comes included with this PC case is very nice. The airflow is pretty decent on this case as well, and just all around a really great case at around just $63, and it really set off this build, especially with that AIO combined. So guys, now that we've put all these parts together, this is what the PC is kind of looking like, as you can see in this clip here. It turned out freaking awesome with that red. That red absolutely pops. This PC, like I said earlier in the clips, somebody did want to buy it who was interested in a PC, so this didn't go up on Marketplace. It's pretty much sold immediately to that guy that wanted to buy it. So I was kind of in a rush, as you can tell, trying to put this PC together, put everything together and button it up and sell it, what have you. But yeah, I do apologize, I don't have any gameplay. I did try looking before editing this video, and apparently I didn't record any gameplay to a flash drive or anything like that. So unfortunately, this is all I have for you guys, but I can tell you right now, this PC performed very similar to the last PC that I built, very similar to this with the sponsored PC case. Basically, you can kind of go off of that as far as benchmarking, but just add about 20 to 30 FPS more on each game tested, as this has an RTX 2070 Super instead of an RTX 2060. But yeah, this is what the PC build looked like in the very end. Turned out awesome, and once I got everything dialed in, this PC was an absolute banger, both in the performance and the aesthetics. This PC turned out awesome and amazing, and it definitely was also a good profit. We made a really good profit on this PC, about 200 roughly, which is really good considering all the parts that we had inside of this PC. And that RTX 2070 Super was definitely a win in my book. But let me know in the comments down below, guys, what you thought of this PC build, and is this something that you would replicate? I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comments down below. And with that, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.